Good morning. Good morning, Bookie Monsters. Welcome and welcome back. This is Bookie Monsters. My name is PK. It is Tuesday, September 5th, and we're going to be looking at new releases this week. I have to keep reminding myself it's Tuesday since yesterday was a holiday. My days are all messed up. So, we'll be looking at romances today. We did look at some mysteries yesterday, but I had noticed later that they had missed one. The one that I purchased today, automatic buy, was the new JD Rod. They didn't even have it listed. How bizarre is that? Let me get there. Payback in Death. They didn't even have it listed. So this is 57th in series. I have read each and every one as they have come out since the beginning. I distinctly remember purchasing the paperback in 1995 when it first came out in a Walden's bookstore. And I still have that paperback. It was before we knew it was Nora Roberts. It was just a police in space kind of thing, police in the future. So it was something I was definitely interested in. And then it turned out it was Nora Roberts, who writes very good books. And so she writes 2 a year. And this is the second one of 2023, Payback in Death. Lieutenant Eve Dallas is just home from a long overdue vacation when she responds to a call of an unattended death. The victim is Martin Greenleaf, retired internal affairs captain. At first glance, the scene appears to be suicide, but the closer Eve examines the body, the more suspicious she becomes. An unlocked open window, a loving wife and family, a too-perfect suicide note. Eve's gut says it's a homicide. After all, Greenleaf put a lot of dirty cops away during his 47 years in internal affairs. It could very well be payback, and she will not rest until the case is closed. My mom will be reading this on Kindle. I've got the physical copy coming. It will show up when I get home from work, but that is going to be immediately what I'm going to be starting to read. I did have a good reading long weekend. 3 books in 3 days. That's not bad. 2 of them had horrible endings, which makes me very angry. I read A Cryptic Clue by Victoria Gilbert. It's a first in a new series called Hunter and Clue. She is a retired librarian who is 60, and he is a reclusive billionaire about 30. And she goes to work for him to catalog his collection. And there's murder. It was I gave it I think I gave it a high 3.5. Then I read the last one by Lil Dean, which if I had the physical copy, I would have thrown it against the wall repeatedly. This is a thriller, and all I can say, it was kind of horrific. I don't recommend this one. I gave it 2 stars because it was, as it says here, unputdownable. I read it in one day. It was unputdownable, but there was some really horrific things happening to this person. She is a 49-year-old woman. She and her boyfriend go on an ocean liner, a cruise ship from the UK to the US. And the first morning she wakes up, the ship is entirely empty. What's going on? So kudos to him for writing an unputdownable book, but it is a very hard to read book in some places, and the very last paragraph made me very angry. Then I read Cassandra in Reverse by Holly Smale, I think is how you say it. It's a Reese Book Club pick, as it says here. She is a woman about 31 who is on the spectrum, and through some chance, she is able to go back in time little bits at time, and she uses that power to improve her life. But does it really? I really, really like this. This was going to be a 5 until the last pages, and it dropped down to a 4. Why do authors feel like there can't be a happy ending? I don't know. It just makes me mad. But um, that is what I read over the weekend. Enjoying all 3 days. Good morning, Jana. I just found your videos this weekend. Wanted to join you this morning. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Do you have your cup of coffee? What we do is we look at the new books each week so we can make some good choices, see if there's new things we want to read that might not have been on our radar. So let's jump in. So today we're going to be looking at the romances. Now this is not comprehensive. This is on bookriot.com. I will find some better ones, but we got to jump in the pool somewhere. So for this week, September 5th, first one here is Fly With Me by Andy Burke. A one-way ticket to love or a bumpy ride ahead. Flying phobic ER nurse Olive Murphy is still gripping the armrest from her first ever takeoff when the pilot announces an in-flight medical emergency. Olive leaps into action and saves a life, but ends up getting stuck in the airport hours away from the marathon she's running in honor of her brother. Luckily for her, Stella Soriano, the stunning Type A co-pilot, offers to give her a ride. After the two spend a magical day together, Stella makes a surprising request. Will Olive be her fake girlfriend? A video of Olive saving a life has gone viral and started generating big sales for Stella's airline. Stella sees their union as the perfect opportunity to get the boys' club executives at her company who keep overlooking her for a long-deserved promotion. Realizing this arrangement could help her too, Olive dives into memorizing Stella's comically comprehensive 3-ring binder guide to fake dating. As the two grow closer, what's supposed to be a ruse feels more and more real. Could this be the romantic ride of their lives or an epic crash and burn? Love Me Do by Lindsay Kelk. Of course, Beatles. A feel-good, sunshine-filled Cyrano de Bergerac-inspired rom-com for fans of Emily Henry and Mary McFarlane. Lovelorn Brit Phoebe Chapman has barely set foot in her sister's house in the Hollywood Hills when she's swept up by lovable Belle, her sister's personal trainer, and handsome Wren, the sweet and sensitive carpenter next door. Belle has a head-over-heels crush on Wren, but Wren has no idea Belle even exists. Certain the two of them are meant to be together, Phoebe offers to play matchmaker. Caught up with writing love letters and an unexpected friendship with a reclusive 82-year-old film star, Phoebe finds herself falling for the real Los Angeles. But is that all she's falling for? A feel-good, sunshine-filled, friends-to-lovers rom-com, Love Me Do is a dreamy summer love story perfect for fans of Christina Lauren and Emily Henry, which I mentioned above. That sounds cute. Got your coffee. I got my coffee too. The Long Game by Elena Armas. A disgraced soccer exec reluctantly enlists the help of a retired soccer star in coaching a children's team in this small-town love story in the vein of Ted Lasso and It Happened One Summer. Blah, blah. Adeline Reyes has spent years perfecting her daily routine. Wake up at dawn, drive to the Miami Flames FC offices, try her hardest to leave a mark, go home, and repeat. But her routine is disrupted when a video of her in an altercation with the team's mascot goes viral. Rather than fire her, the team's owner, who happens to be her father, sends Adeline to middle-of-nowhere North Carolina, where she's tasked with turning around the struggling local soccer team, the Green Warriors, as a way to redeem herself. Her plans crumble upon discovering that the players wear tutus to practice, impractical, keep pet goats, messy, and are terrified of Adeline, counterproductive, and are 9-year-olds. To make matters worse, also in town is Cameron Caldani, goalkeeping prodigy whose presence is somewhat of a mystery. Cam is the perfect candidate to help Adeline, but after one very unfortunate first encounter involving a rooster, Cam's leg, and Adeline's bumper, he's also set on running her out of town. But banishment is not an option for Adeline, not again. Helping this ragtag children's team is her road to redemption, and she is playing the long game with or without help. That sounds really cute. Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score, big name author. Lucian Rollins is a lean, mean, vengeance-seeking mogul. On a quest to erase his abusive father's mark on the family name, he spends every waking minute pulling strings and building his empire. The more money and power he gains, the safer he feels, except when it comes to one feisty small-town librarian, because librarians are feisty. Bonded by an old dark secret from the past and their current mutual disdain, Sloane Walton trusts Lucian about as far as she can throw his designer-suited body. When bickering accidentally turns to foreplay, the flames are fanned, and it's impossible to put them out again. But with Sloane more than ready to start a family, and Lucian refusing to even consider the idea of marriage and kids, these enemies to lovers are stuck at an impasse until Lucian learns the hard way that leaving Sloane is impossible. The very least he can do is to keep her safe. I'm sure that will become very, very popular because that author is well known. This Winter by Alice Oseman, romance, young adult. A very special heart-stopper story set over a challenging holiday season. Reuniting Tori Spring, her little brother Charlie, and Charlie's boyfriend Nick, this novella sees the Spring siblings brave a particularly difficult festive season. And that's all they say. Witches Get Stuff Done by Molly Harper. Riley Everett's newfound witchy magic is hardly stable enough to help her manage the eccentric, haunted mansion her family passed down to her. Luckily, Starfall Point's frustratingly hot librarian, see, I tell you, Edison Held is the perfect resource to fill her in on the house's hidden history and to keep very close company for when things go bump in the night. And those are the romances that they tell us about on this. Hi, Kay. Good morning, everyone, as well. First day of school here. Oh, good luck. My son does virtual schooling and is starting 10th grade today. May not be able to chat. That's okay. Boop the like. Thank you so much. Yes, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell people. The more the merrier. All right, I'm going to close a couple doohickeys here. All right, let's look at some of the cozy mysteries. We didn't have a chance to do that yesterday. Sorry, coffee's required. Time is it? Got some time. Okay. These are the cozy mysteries. This is from cozymystery.com that they are saying released this week. Snapped Shut Murder by Emma Ainsley. Magic, Mayhem, and Murder by Tessa Bryant. Bad Omen #1. Let's check that one out. By Tessa Bryant. First, and it's Kindle Unlimited. In the blink, I like the cover. In the blink of an eye, Mallory Thorne's world fell apart. She was fired from her job, found her boyfriend in bed with their neighbor, and as if that wasn't bad enough, a phone call from her estranged sister came next, telling her that their beloved grandmother had been murdered. With a heavy heart, Mallory heads home to Tempest, Texas, the small hometown she never planned to revisit. Only the moment she steps foot in town, strange things start happening all around her, and she realizes Tempest isn't the place she thought she remembered at all. Vampires run the local bar, werewolves are on the police force, and there's a talking cat in the bookstore. Turns out Tempest is a refuge for the supernatural, and Mallory is descended from a powerful coven of witches. Her grandmother bound her magic and hid her memories before she left town, but with Nana gone, it's all coming back to her, and nobody's more surprised than Mallory when she realizes those memories might be the key to solving her grandmother's murder. It'll take all of Mallory's newfound magic, some seriously powerful old friends, and one high school crush turned handsome sheriff to discover the secrets hidden in her mind and navigate the dangers lurking just out of sight. Can Mallory confront the mysteries of her past and claim her true power, or will the killer claim another victim before she can stop them? They had me until vampires and werewolves. Ah, but that will be somebody's cup of tea. The Death of Light by Lou Collins, second in the series. Where the light shines, death stalks her from the shadows. When the city of Scalaris' most influential man vanishes without a trace, Quill develops a serious case of deja vu. With her dream of becoming a scholar at stake, Quill is the only one who believes a crime has been committed. While Quill searches for answers, she unravels a web of petty rivalries and political corruption. As tensions rise, the ruling council is placed in protective custody only to find one of them murdered. Knowing there's a killer among them, Quill races against time to outwit the powerful elites and protect the family she's created with her mentor. As Quill ditches the posse of power-hungry politicians to search for the truth, say that fast, she makes a shocking discovery. The killer was under her nose all along. With her future and the city's reputation on the line, Quill will stop at nothing to find the truth and bring the killer to justice. Will I read any of these new ones? I'm always looking. That's why I do this. I am always looking for new ones to read. It is always my hope. Murder on the Farm. Kate Wells, another Kindle Unlimited. Lambing season always brings the unexpected, but no one expected murder. Or the Spanish Inquisition. If you know, you know. Jude Grey never thought she'd find herself widowed and running a working farm full time, but here she is, living in the small Malvern village her husband Adam spent most of his life in. After a particularly grueling lambing season, she's looking forward to some time off, but there's no rest for the wicked, especially when she finds the body of one of Adam's oldest friends on her farm. Unimpressed with the local constabulary's efforts, Jude starts an investigation of her own. But as the body count rises, danger creeps ever closer to Malvern Farm. A killer is on the prowl, and all that stands in their way is one woman and her dog, which I imagine is a sheep herding dog. That does sound cute. All right, the ones that are saying releasing today. Seems Deadly, Maggie Bailey. First in a Measure Twice sewing mystery. When sewist, might be seamstress, Lydia Barnes finds a dead body soon after moving to a new town, she will need more than sheer luck to find the killer in this novel perfect for fans of etc. Lydia Barnes is excited for a fresh start when she moves to the quaint mountain town of Peridot, Georgia. Her friend Fran offers her a job at the Measure Twice fabric store and even sets her up on a date with the handsome Brandon Ivy, who also happens to be Lydia's new next-door neighbor. Finally, things are looking up. But after a disaster first date that ends with a fist bump instead of a kiss, Lydia doesn't think her night can get any worse. She's soon proven wrong when she later stumbles upon Brandon's dead body. That's a bad first date. Considered the prime suspect by the police, Lydia calls on her friends to help her hunt for the truth and prove her innocence. But when another body is soon found inside the Measure Twice store, Lydia knows that the killer must be close by, and that this town has more than its fair share of secrets. Who would want to frame the newest addition to Peridot for these terrible murders, and why? Lydia may discover that while sewing might have a pattern, killing rarely does. Will she be able to stitch together the clues and clear her own name before the killer strikes again? Definitely cozy. Very bad first date. That one sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, so far I think of these, the farm one does sound very interesting. Any Pot in a Storm by Sandra Balzo. 16th in series. Trouble is brewing for coffee house owner Maggie Thorson when she's caught up in a storm, and murder at a writer's retreat. Coffee house owner Maggie Thorson has reluctantly traveled north with her business partner Sarah Kingston to cater for a weekend writer's retreat at Payne Lodge Log Cabin. The remote location deep in the Wisconsin forest is the perfect setting for mystery writing workshops and murder. Maggie's no fan of the outdoors, but forest bugs are the least of her worries when lightning strikes the lodge during a storm, and she and Sarah discover the body of the retreat's organizer, editor of the local newspaper, and president of Brook Hills Writers Club, Kate McNamara. It seems that Kate had annoyed many of the retreat's attendees, but who hated her enough to plot her murder? That's a very interesting cover. It's minimal, which then catches my attention because you get so many busy covers. Catherine H. Brown, Toes in the Tulips. Kindle Unlimited. Gladys is head over heels excited for the new community garden project. In fact, she's created a whole new event, the Community Garden Plant Potluck. The plant potluck is more popular than even she imagined until one of the community garden members is found toes up in the tulips, dead as can be. Not even mostly dead, all the way dead. Again, if you know, you know. Gladys won't rest until the killer is planted in a jail cell and the community garden project is free to grow again. But when clues don't make sense, she might have to do a little out-of-the-box research using an interesting new resource, the Mystery Book Nook forum online. Don't miss this fun new adventure with some favorite characters. Not a gardener, but the online thing kind of sounds interesting. Like they might have like text interspersed in there. Oh, dang it. Let's do one more. Death in the Romance Isle by Lynn Cahoon, third in the Survivor's Book Club Mysteries. Rarity Cole is taking full advantage of her second chance at life after recovering from breast cancer, running a bookstore in Sedona, and a support group for fellow survivors. She's also discovered a knack for defeating other kinds of deadly threats. Rarity is excited about expanding the romance section of her store, but not nearly as excited as her best friend Sam is about reuniting with her brother after many years. Marcus makes a trek from California to Arizona, is welcomed with a party, and hints that he may stick around now that remote work is an option. But is it just a coincidence that not long after his arrival, a body is found near a local swimming hole? Especially considering that the dead woman had recently gone on a date with him, and even worse, that Marcus has a startling secret in his past. The police suspect him, but Rarity hopes to find another explanation before Sam is once again separated from her sibling by prison walls. I've not read that series. It does sound interesting. But we are out of time. I appreciate you guys coming. We will look at some more of the cozies tomorrow, but we'll also look at fantasy sci-fi, and then look at some more of the cozies. I appreciate you guys being here so much, and if you couldn't be here live, I appreciate that you take the time to watch it and replay. I always do upload these later in the day, so you can watch that as well. And we're here just because I want to know what the new books are each week, because I just, if you don't know about them, you can't read them, and I want to read all the books. So we are doing live sprints tonight at 6:05 p.m. Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern. We'll be going for 2.5 hours. Bring your own book, bring a craft, even do meditating, because if you want to do that, we listen to some very soothing music. So if you want to spend like 55 minutes meditating, we take a break at the top of the hour. You can do that as well. So please tell others, please hit like, subscribe, notification bell, etc. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom, 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 nom. Have a good Tuesday, and God bless.